Hey everyone, it's Will, GamerDad, with another video for you. So first off, I'd like to give a shout out to one of my Patreon supporters, Al Heyman. Thanks for your support. Now, of course, we do have a new game update. Make sure you do go to the App Store or the Play Store in order to update this, because otherwise you won't have the benefit of getting all of those free summons that should happen as of login tomorrow. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me this way. Alright, so let's get right into it. In tonight's episode of Should You Summon, we'll discuss the various banners that are associated with the newest battle simulator, as well as ES Thillelille. So, we have the Fateful Encounter Global Best of the Best 2023, and so not sure how they pulled these units to see if they're the best, but certainly they're more of the recent units out there. There are, I guess about 12, 11, let's see, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 or so. And so, guaranteed one of these on the 10th pull, as you can see from the odds, 8.34% rounded or so. Keep in mind that if you do hit the unit Oboro or Sirius as one of the possible Stellar Awakened units, you'll only get 1 out of 3 gauges, and that is always the case unless it specifically mentions a pickup bonus. I will keep on mentioning that until we've kind of all gotten used to that, but since it's still relatively new in terms of the SA system, I just wanted to tell you that ahead of time so you don't go into things without full information. Otherwise, there's the bots, Rainbow Sisters, and Knights from pulls 1 to 9. And of course, the chance of getting all the other powerful units as well, even when Nefika is in here, being that she is the newest unit, and Fatefuls always include all units per se. Now, should you summon? That's the interesting part. This one has actually a lot of powerful units. I mean, in terms of the 12 units here, in no particular order, Alter Miunfa Porcelain Pixie is one of the best buffers right now, giving units singular focus, which is obviously physical focus, which is extremely powerful and quite rare, not to mention all the other buffs and protection that you can give to the unit to the left as well as to the right of her. She can also set Earth Zone, which is obviously a little bit less important, but however, there is some flexibility there. I think she can also set Magic, but anyways. There's Valette, which we already know all about. Very powerful Thunder Zone amped setter. Alter Daenerys, counter tank, water setter. Elseal, ultimate water setter and support unit. Not much DPS. Ultra Lulu, extremely powerful top tier slash zone setter. Sesta, we know Sesta. Ultra Shannon, our preemptive Earth zone setter with move. Yakumo and Ify, and of course Ultra Hozuki. Hey, sorry, no waifu, no lifu. She's really not that powerful, although she can still set Pierce Zone. In my opinion, this banner's not bad. I mean, if you're relatively new to the game and you're missing like 2/3 of the units, I would say you can give it a go. Keep in mind, this is only here for 8 days, and you can pull it twice. One thing to keep in mind though, again, the fact that you don't get these awakened units, Sirius and Oboro, makes them a lot less desirable even if you hit them. Now, I understand you can add them to your team and make it more powerful. However, you will have to use all Cosmos star charts or hit 3 dupes of them, of which it's a little bit harder to do, especially given that there's over 140 units in the game. And so, I don't value anything that doesn't have a fully awakened stellar unit as a full unit. Honestly, my friend and I talked about this, and we call these stellar awakened units that aren't as good unless they're fully stellar awakened, we call them the 4.75 stars. Now, the reason why we say that, of course, is, for example, a Yakumo, a full 5-star unit. You could argue that he is so ultra powerful that he's beyond or within the top range of what a 5-star should do. Look at Oboro and Sirius without Stellar Awakened. Not even close. And I would argue that even with Stellar Awakened, Yakumo might be able to give them a run for their money depending on the use. And so, again, if a Stellar Awakened unit SA unit is not fully powerful, I'm going to call it a 4.75 star unit. Again, another comparison would be Suzette. Being that Suzette as a 5-star, even non-Stellar Awakened, is quite formidable as a unit to use. So anyways, so the answer is, if you really want to go for one of these units, you can. Keep in mind we have a lot of free 10 pulls coming in, so you don't want to disappoint yourself and pull on this followed by hitting something like that on the free banner. And so if you're going to do it, wait until the last day and then decide what you want to do. These are still paid pulls which cost you real money, so I am understanding that it may not be what you would like. Now we have some other units here. The Ways We Rocked, I think that was an old one. This one is the Sacrament Moke, and this one obviously is a Faithful. This has the pickup bonus, so if you want ES Thillelille, no 4.5, no 5-star normal, no AS boosted, only the 0.8% on the ES and 10% flat chance on the 10th pull. Very similar to AS Alma, so we already expect that. It's unfortunate. The pickup bonus only applies to the ES Thillelille, and so if you hit the other three SA units, only 1 out of 3 gauges. And bots, Rainbow Sisters, and Knights, of course, are galore in these banners. And remember that Faithfuls are only 10% chance on the 10th pull, 0.8% chances pulls 1 to 9. And then we also have this one. So the paid banner only lasts 2 weeks. The free banner lasts a month. This one also has a pickup bonus, and just like its predecessor, we only get 0.8, no real boost for anything else. The other units are here, Ouroboros and Sirius, but no Wanefica. So everything up to Wanefica, because Wanefica is still in the banner, is here. And of course, we still have some of the powerful units, Yakumo, Kumos, and Tetra, the real 5 stars instead of the 4.75 stars. So, should you summon? Well, it depends how much you want a 4.75 versus a 5. Now, the difference is that ES Thillelille is our first SA unit that has a Moke, a sidekick. And we always pull for the buddy and not the unit. Moke can do quite a bit for you. It restores AF gauge at the end of turn. I'm assuming it stores anywhere from 7.5 to 10%, just similar to something like an AS Sora, which is actually very beneficial in certain types of fights. Also does a 10-10 dual debuff, which can stack up to 3 times for 30%. Not much of anything, however. Still stacks with other dual or triple debuffs at a diminishing return rate. Still gives you some benefits, and when in another zone, it'll stack plus 1 charge. Now, there's no other way to stack it other than having an Awakened Zone for 5 turns. That actually does really well with ES Thillelille, in that ES Thillelille does kind of extend an Awakened Zone by 2 turns. I think that only applies if you have the Awakened version. So bear that in mind, that it does not help you nearly as much if you have the 4.75 version. And so speaking of that, the sidekick plays really well off ES Thillelille. At 5 charges, it will consume all 5 charges just like your own sidekick's move. It'll do 5 hits, which can wear down barriers. It can inflict stun and physical res down 50% and type res down 50% for 1 turn, which will help your... Remember, you do the sidekick move very similar to SA move ahead of AFs, and then you're applying 50% phys res, type res down, which will allow your next AF to do tons of damage if you do the same turn. If ES Thillelille is in the front line, you'll activate her Lunatic, and it gives Lunatic to everyone for 1 turn, which is the Mind's Eye one, which increases damage. It increases, I think, stats as well as increases weakness multiplier. So increases damage by 50% straight out, no drawback. And it also increases weakness multiplier, which is basically a plus 100% damage or so based on calculation. It's not quite that, but I always call it an extra double damage per se. And obviously, this will also give ES Thillelille her main state, which is the specialized sword-wielding savior state. Now, the reason why I say ES Thillelille is 4.75 is that without having the SA, you're going to not be able to start her at battle start with sword-wielding savior state. if you have her S8, she starts with sword-wielding savior. She also, when Stellar Burst is activated, it'll extend 2 turns to another zone. And it can help, obviously, her main specialized DPS move with her SA move. Does Crystal / AoE times 4XL. Barrier pierces, and also changes everyone who is luring shadow to crystal. So really helps augment your crystal damage. Not only that, but her main DPS requires her to be in sword wielding state. Otherwise, if you're not in sword wielding state, you don't get the extra multiplier, which basically leaves her DPS at less than 200 mod. I believe it'll be 160 base mod percentage wise. And only when you have not only a full team of luring shadow, you also have to be in sword wielding savior state in order to maximize her damage to 2400 mod. Keep this in mind. I mean, Flam has a 3000 mod with no requirements, other than not getting stunned after 3 turns. Sesta can get 7k mod with her 5-turn attack. And I know that's limited in the fact that you can only do it once per turn, but I mean 7k once per turn is 7k, right? Which also barrier pierces by, right? So, without Sword Wielding Savior, all you can rely on her is for her buffing, and her buffing is pretty good still. Preemptive power in speed of all party members capped at 100%, applies mental and singular focus for 1 turn, and also helps other sword characters with some sort of skills attacks +1. So I don't know if that means extra double attacking. So if that helps her double attack, then she now becomes 4800 mod. This also combines with other sword users, and if you're using crystal, there aren't really any crystal sword that I can think of offhand. Yeah, but I mean, even if you use an all-slash team, for example, you can definitely do extra funny things with that extra boost. She also applies permanent pain, and she can also deploy crystal instance with a move. So definitely better than AS Alma in the fact that AS Alma can only set zone when you have a 2 to 4 crystals units in the front line. Coincidentally, she's also Shadow, so she'll play well with ES Thillelille. So I think my answer with these units in general are such. The fact that they require a lot of restrictions in order to really unlock their abilities, and more importantly, the fact that it relies on SA to do a lot of damage really makes this a nope for me. Now, you can argue that if you hit, pickup bonus version, you get her right away, in which case you get all the benefits from that, and I understand that too. If you have no form of Thillelille, aka you're new to the game and you really want a top level / DPS, I think she would do you very well, and you do get the sidekick, especially if you never had Thillelille. For us who already have a form of Thillelille, and many of us have summoned on her over the years, we can side grade and still get Moke, but we just won't get the SA unless we use 3 all Cosmo star charts. And so, yeah, there's that. Also, again, keep in mind that I believe the free 10 pulls that start tomorrow should have ES Thillelille in it. I'm just guessing here, but that's usually the case with Destiny tokens or free pulls. In which case, if you hit one of those, you get 103. Not the best, but even at 103, you get Moke. So if you want to save some money, especially if you don't have like 50k stones, like most of us, we only have like 1,000, 2,000, a few thousand. I mean, 10k is rich for this game, but it doesn't really do much in the fact that you only have 0.8% chance of getting Thillelille. So it's rough, right? So I think the answer is, if you have it, don't summon. You're just going to be disappointed because you either hit 0.8 or you hit nothing at all. If you don't have any form of Thillelille and you want access to the potential of, more importantly, Moke, because of course the sidekick is always awesome, the power of ES Thillelille cannot be denied. It's just that you need the SA. You need the SA to have it work for you. Alright, so hopefully that gives you some ideas of what to do with that. I am not going to pull on this because I still don't really like the SA upgrade system, and honestly at free to play, I'm going to be forced to make some decisions later on as to what to do with my all Cosmo star charts. I can only do 4 a year, of course, being that we only get 12 every year, 1 a month, and I don't know if ES Thillelille will hit my top, but I'm not going to be using any all Cosmo star charts until later on in the year because I want to see how this SA system plays out before I make any decisions. Remember that those items are non-refundable. They are consumable one time. And if you make the wrong mistake, you are messed because you can't get those back, right? We can't even buy them with money currently. You can buy the unit, but you can't buy those items. So keep that in mind. They are as precious as gold and should be treated as such. Okay, so quickly speaking, there are 3 more banners here. Shade, Thunder, and Crystal Force. I'm just going to go quickly over them because many of you already know the units. So we'll start with Shade. Should you summon, these front 3, ES, Tuva, Yuki, Yakumo, and Ify are top tier Shade units. The number 1 Shade team will probably contain all 3 of them, and then a 4th Shade unit of your choice, either Winefica or some other Shade unit. You can even use AS Nikoko or RCF. That would be more than capable of handling any Shade vulnerable unit fight in your way. The other 2 are much older and really not much of consequence. I can't say that Ultra Iska or AS Milsha are... Well, AS Milsha is totally useless. I'm going to be honest with you. Ultra Iska is just power crept to oblivion, and without a manifest, she wouldn't crack my Shade team. She has some other benefits with dual debuff, some physical res, and so on and so forth, but I mean, you're not using that. Ify will help you survive anyway. So, must summon if you don't have Ify and Yakumo, because Yakumo comes with Kumos, and again, we pull for the buddy, not the unit. And he is really a 2 billion times 5 type of damage guy, so, you know, there's that. Must summon, again, if you don't have Ify and Yakumo. If you have those 2, it's a pass. You gotta save your stones. This is a free banner, by the way. All 3 of them are. And is 1% flat chance. You can do single pulls if you want, or do 10 pulls. It won't make any difference in the 5-star rate. So, for the Church of Single Pulls, all 3 of these banners can be summoned as such. Now, this banner is a lot more interesting. Again, very, very simple. Silver Striker, sorry, you suck. I'm sorry. Permaev lovers, I mean, you know. Yeah. ES Mew is a great barrier-piercing Thunder unit. However, you have access to her, even if you're newer to the game. You'll eventually pick up 5 codexes, and you already have Mew in some form. You don't really need to pay for her. Villette and Orlea AS are broken as heck for Thunder teams. They are much required if you want the 1A Thunder team. And so Oboro, again, he is a great DPS for Thunder. He also has the benefit of doing some exposed Thunder and other things if he's SA'd. Otherwise, he's really 4.75 stars. So the star of the show is Villette and Orlea AS. You can call them 1, 2, or whatever. Guns, I would say slight edge only to Guns and Villette because you pull for the buddy. Oboro is still quite good, but at 1 out of 3 Awakening Gauges, not perfect. So if you are missing both Orlea and Villette, summon on this banner if you have stones. You have to choose, though, because I don't think you have enough stone for all 3 banners. Then you have to choose which element you want and what kit you like. I have 5-star reviews on my playlist on my channel of many of these powerful units. I don't have Orlea AS yet, so there's that. But I have Villette, I have Ify, Yakumo, and you know, some of the other players. You can take a look and see how those play styles work for you and whether or not you like them. And finally, Crystal. Eva, I hate you. But I have you finally. So, you know, there's that. Alma is, obviously Alma AS is out, but the Alma normal style is a force to be reckoned with even as her normal style. Barrier pierce magic attacks, the change to any weakness, and she can still set Crystal Zone by VCing in. Very powerful unit in its own right, not even the AS version. ES Meryl can do a ton of damage if you really need her in a crystal setting. RCF is much needed even nowadays. I don't think he's nearly as powerful, but he's not there for DPS, right? He's there to extend zone. He's there to buff your power and speed, physical res, type up and down, which you do need 200% up and down when fighting some of the newer bosses. And AS Mystere, well, as a singer, she can do tremendous amounts of damage and support your team as well. This one is a little bit tougher because you don't have any strict zone setters. The prizes here would probably be Alma and RCF. Actually, I would say even ES Mariel and AS Mystere are quite good. Eva's not bad, but she has she is showing her age, unfortunately. And so I would say that Crystal will probably be my least focused summon, especially since you could really, if you want to have some gamble anyways, you can summon on ES Thillelille or even AS Alma as newer versions of this, understanding that you're winning super hard if you hit the SA, and understanding the odds are against you because it's only 0.8% chance of getting the unit versus, for example, 1% times 5. So if you ask me to rank the colors, Shade first, Thunder next, and Crystal last. Just arbitrary picking. Don't tell me or ask me why, because it's just my personal opinion, right? Alright, anyways, hopefully that helps you select which one to go with. And more importantly, good luck with the banners, and good luck with Boss Rush. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.